Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hey, welcome to Final Guys, the final word in all things horrific and stupid. I am your co-host, Hunter Shea, and I'm joined by the lovely, sexy, and beautiful Jack Campisi.
I was waiting for you to say Jason.
I know, what the hell?
And our trash bag piece of crap, Jason Brant.
That's fitting. There's not much I can say about that.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Just a little bit of a low blow to start it off. That's fine.
Right in the nuts. That's the way I like to start it. Tonight we're going to go back in the time machine to discuss the original John Carpenter's The Fog. But before we get there, you're going to have to endure a few things that we need to talk about and get off our chest. First being the news with Jack.
Okay, wait. Before we do the news, does anybody have the drinking game rules?
I got him.
Oh, Jesus. We got to drink?
I've got my water because my fat ass is on a diet, so I'm not drinking during these for a couple weeks.
I drank everything on the train.
I'm drinking bourbon instead of beer. That's my diet.
I'm cutting back on the carbs.
Cut the carbs.
All right. Drinking words for The Fog. Jack, your words are news, Easter, and Curtis. That's going to be said a lot. Hunter, yours are Mist, Dane, and Classic. And mine are Revenant, Fisherman, and Bay. And the bonus words are Carpenter, Fog, and Church. That's going to be a rough one.
Oh, my God. People are going to die tonight.
Sometime.
These cult people aren't even drinking alcohol. So I'm calling them out. People, buck up to the bar and take a sip of something flammable.
I think for a live stream sometime, we should all watch one of our past ones and follow the drinking rules and see how shit-faced we actually get.
Oh, my God.
It'd probably be brutal.
That'd be a great bonus episode.
We got to do Jaws. Make shark one of the words, and then
You can only drink Narragansett if we do Jaws.
crush it like Quint.
Gansett, baby. All right, Jack. So what's going on in the world of horror that we don't know about?
Well, speaking of Jaws, I found a little interesting tidbit from Steven Spielberg. So he's out there promoting Ready Player One, and
That looks horrible.
a friend of mine's reading the book, and he loves the book. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear the reviews before I go see that. Chances are I won't see it unless everybody goes bananas for it. Anywho, so in 2002 he re-released E.T. with digital effects enhancements and things like that on it. They replaced the guns that the cops had with radios, and they did a couple of other, like they did with Star Wars. Well, looking back on it, somebody asked him if he'd ever do that again, and he said no. He learned a big lesson from last time, and he's never going to mess with the past. What's done is done, and he'll never go back. I think somebody asked him specifically about something like, would you go back and, touch up Jaws or one of your other movies or something like that? And he said no. To which I applaud you, Mr. Spielberg, for learning your lesson.
I've seen what George has done. Let it be.
Yeah, thank God. I don't mind when they go back and do, say, a new stereo mix or a surround sound mix for a movie, but actually touching the picture, that's a huge no-no for me.
And adding deleted scenes that were deleted for a reason in the first place.
I like what they did with Lord of the Rings, where they filmed a lot of stuff, and so there was a director's cut that's like, okay, this is the longer cut I would have liked to have put out, but this is the edited version for theater. There's an interesting version of Star Trek out there, the original series, where they enhance the space scenes and things like that, so that the Enterprise looks more real and things like that. I've never really watched it. I've seen clips on YouTube, and it looks pretty cool. But that's just kind of a fun exercise. I don't know who exactly did it or what. But
with the Star Trek one, does it make it less boring? Because that first movie is sinfully
No,
boring.
this is the TV show. This is the TV show.
Okay.
No, nothing can unboring the first movie.
Hey, trivia. My father worked with the bald woman in the movie.
Oh,
Wow.
Yep. at, I think he was at Fairchild Publications or something in the city. But yeah, she left the company to go do that movie.
Carbon unit,
God.
Decker unit.
You know what? When you look in the dictionary for the word misstep, it has that Star Trek movie right next to it.
So the guy who played Decker was the dude who was in Seventh Heaven, and then was Dee and Dennis's father in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yes.
And then he has like some kind of scandal where he was like a
Pedophile.
yes,
I'll say it.
carbon unit.
A fucking pederast.
Just a quick heads up, talking about movies that went and got touched up and ruined. Apparently online, there is a Star Wars version where someone has gone through and found HD sources of all the scenes that Lucas had changed and has put it all together, and you can download it. I don't know if that's entirely legal or not, but I'd like to check it out.
I've heard of it. Somebody actually said that they were going to get it for me. They were like, it was huge file. Like you need like a hard drive to get it. But I bet you like if we went to like a chiller or something, we could find that.
Chiller's coming, I think, in a few weeks. So get your party pants on.
When is it?
Right.
In April?
It's in April. They do an April one and they do an October
I've
one.
never gone to the April one. You gonna go? I'll go.
Yeah. I wanted to go to New Jersey HorrorCon, but we couldn't go. So I want to hit this one just to get something in.
Say the word. I'm there.
I'm dying.
I'm going to be in New York April 20th or something like that. So if it's that weekend.
Really?
Really?
I'll have to look after this is over. Oh, I'm going to shine up my cod piece.
The next piece of news,
Yes.
being one of the drinking words. News.
Hey, that's classic.
James Wan and the Stranger Things producers are creating a coming-of-age slasher flick for Netflix. Netflix announced some killer news. They're teaming with Stranger Things producer James Wan to bring us coming-of-age slasher fish. It's called There's Someone Inside Your House. The movie will be based on a New York Times best-selling novel by Stephanie Perkins.
I wonder if she's related to Tony. Like
Homesick
Oz.
high school student Makani Young, who's been living in Nebraska with her grandmother for the past year, has been sent away by her parents. Things seem to be going fine at first, and her romantic life is beginning to heat up. That is until students at her high school begin getting murdered.
Murder.
Who wrote the screenplay for the upcoming Shazam film will handle the script. No current director attached.
Is there really a Shazam movie coming out?
Oh yeah, the guy who played what the heck is that movie? That show with the guy who was a spy with Ivan Stravinsky.
Oh God, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Shazam.
It was on NBC. The costume looks really, really comic booky. I'm not looking forward to Shazam.
Look, Jack, nothing will compare to Fat Shazam for you and I.
Fat Shazam was the greatest. Speaking of chiller,
400-pound Shazam in a lycra bodysuit.
that hadn't been washed in 4 years.
The suit
But worn
wore
a
him.
lot.
Jesus.
This is why you go to cons.
Oh, remember the guy in the Batman underwear?
Of course I do. He's in my trunk.
Yes. I'm definitely in for chiller. What do you think? Stranger Things, James Wan?
Yeah, why not?
Bring it on.
Isn't one of the Stranger Things producers, directors, creators in this Me Too movement something against him?
Oh, really?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to that shit.
I think one of them is in trouble, but it must not be too big because, like I said, you guys don't know about it, so I just saw it in passing.
Okay. The last
three.
piece of news. Oh, this is a good one. So, how many episodes have we done with Nicolas Cage? We did 8mm. We did Mom and Dad, right?
Yep.
Well, I don't know when this is coming out, but RLJE Films acquires Manacle chainsaw wielding Nicolas Cage flick Mandy.
What?
So there's a movie with Nicolas Cage who's going to be a chainsaw wielding dude. Wait, where's the recap of this? Here's the plot summary. Mandy is set in the primal wilderness of 1983, where Red Miller, a broken and haunted man, hunts an unhinged religious sect who slaughtered the love of his life.
Look, if Nick Cage can overact with abandon, then it should be fun. If he has to employ any amount of subtlety, it's a disaster.
Nick
I'm
Cage
picturing-
chainsaw cult. Done. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah, it's like the ingredients. It's like, well, take a little Nicolas Cage and take a little Evil Dead chainsaw, throw in, a little
Sex cult.
You're Next sex cult. Like, this just sounds tremendous.
Yeah, I'm 100% in. I heard about that a couple days ago.
So I don't know when this is coming out, but fellas,
I'll watch.
that's going to be a featured movie. I
Yeah,
go see that in IMAX.
That'd be glorious.
I wanna
Although
see it
Nick
in
Cage
sense
movies are-
around.
They're best seen in 8mm. Ooh, this is dangerously
was-
close to aspect ratio talk.
That was
Yeah,
a nice
stop.
little dig. I'll give you that. That was fine.
And that is all the news that's fit to print.
All
You
the
know, let's look at
news.
some.
I'll
This is
throw
good
one in
news.
right before we start. Well, like 3 hours ago. Sheridan threw some news our way in the Final Guys Facebook group. If anybody wants to join that, it's Final Guys Horror Cult. Apparently, Kevin Bacon is teaming up with Stir of Echoes writer and director David Cope for a new Blumhouse horror movie. Hell yeah.
Bacon has a lot to make up for that Darkness movie.
Was that the one
Oh,
that was
I
on
didn't see
Netflix?
that.
I never even watched it.
Oh my! It's a dumpster fire. It's so bad. It's one of the worst movies I've seen in 10 years.
Well, Stir of
So-
Echoes is great. I haven't watched that in a long time, but I really enjoyed that when it came out.
I watched
That was.
I think I watched it 1 week when we were doing this recently.
So they're teaming back up for Blumhouse.
Hey man, I'll give Mr. Footloose a chance.
I'm
not?
telling you, he was rumored to be the next choice for Freddy Krueger. And while I'm really not looking for another Freddy Krueger, that intrigued me.
It's
Look,
an
if he
inspired
smokes-
choice.
If he smokes one more pack of cigarettes, he can be Freddy Krueger without the makeup. Like he's just ready. Just put the gloves on him and the sweater.
He's
So you
such
ever-
a dick.
You ever been flicking around the channels and you see Kevin Bacon and you play the how long until I can figure out what movie this is? Like Mystic River or something like that or whatever. This Kevin Bacon one came on and I'm like, what the hell is this? It was The River Wild with Meryl Streep where he was
yeah.
chasing her family down the rapids.
Yes, I remember that.
And I watched like 5-10 minutes of it.
I just like to watch The Woodsman over and over again.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Oh, it's rough. He's a pedophile.
Is that the
Again,
one where he's the guard, or is that the other one?
No, that's Sleepers.
I just remember he was a kid toucher. Yeah. Ugh, God, I'm on a theme tonight.
Good thing
Pedophilia. Hey, welcome
Good
to
thing
Final
that's not a
Guys.
drinking word.
Last week you were on an Eastern European kick. Now you're on a pedophilia kick.
It might be related. I don't know.
Oh,
So, okay.
we just
are we done
lost
with the
our
news?
only listener in Poland.
Oh, come back, Pavel. Come back. All right. We're done with the news. So we are going to move on to our staff picks, and we're going to tell you all the weird stuff that we watched today. So we'll be right back.
We have such sights to show you.
Okay. So, Jack, you just sucked up a lot of air with your news. So let's let Jason talk about what he did with his long days and nights when his wife is working and bringing in all the money to keep him alive and keep him going. And he's just sitting around in semen stained underpants watching horror movies all day.
I'm not going to
Wow.
lie. It's a pretty good life.
Why am I being so rough to you tonight?
It's not just me. Shitting on Kevin Bacon, that's not even right.
Yeah, well, screw him.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right. First, I want to jump into something you mentioned last week, Jack. The Monster Project. You convinced me to go back and give it another try. So I did. And by God, at almost the exact same point where I shut it off last time, I almost shut it off again. That beginning is so brutal with the overacting of the guy behind the camera.
Yes.
And it sounds like it's ADR'd. It just is awful, awful beginning. But you're right. They 100% went for it. a lot of it doesn't work right, but a lot of it is just fun. The werewolf is surprisingly effective. The transformation's terrible, but
Yes.
the actual costume is really cool. Some of the CG doesn't work, but the practical effects are pretty neat.
By the way, did you say werewolf?
Yes.
Is that how they say it in the mountains?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure there's no L in mountains. Gotcha.
Werewolf. Werewolf.
Werewolf.
Oh, man. I would really like for you to meet me in New York City. I'd like to show you something
Oh,
next month.
I could take a punch, so bring it on.
you can find Hunter at the Peep Show with his mop.
That's true. I'll just show up at your job.
Exactly. Could just bring bleach.
Give him some extra work.
Oh, he's my favorite customer.
Oh crap!
He's a dribbler.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So, anyway, this movie it's one of the movies that's a little frustrating to me, to be honest, because if they'd made a couple of changes here and there, I feel like this is a movie we would be telling people to run out and check out, because there were some fun ideas, there was some fun execution, there was some things that didn't help it. But the guy behind the camera I was talking about, he basically stops talking halfway through the movie, and that helps tremendously. It's mostly the CG that's a little rough throughout, but I'm with you. They went for it, and I appreciate that a lot. So it's a found footage movie that does something a little bit different.
I have that on my Instagram. I saved when somebody posted. I saved that a while ago. Should I jump in? Give it a shot.
Grab a beer or two. It's worth a watch.
Goes without saying.
It's a dumb movie that throws everything but the kitchen sink into it, but it's fun.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's.
But you got to set the bar low.
Oh, don't worry. I saw Pacific Rim this week. I know about setting the bar low.
Then I finished Wild Wild Country, the documentary on Netflix I was telling you guys about last week about the cult in Oregon that took over a town and tried to take over the county and was going after the state. Shit just gets crazier and crazier and crazier in this show. They were attempting to kill people. They poisoned hundreds of people. Just absolute insanity. They were bussing in all these homeless people to vote for them in the election. And then, shockingly, a lot of these homeless people were crazy. So they started poisoning them and sedating them to keep them from... I mean, it's out of control. How in the hell? I never heard of this before this documentary. I'll never know. But
it's getting a lot of press.
It's really freaking good. It's 6 episodes. It'll take you a little while to get through because it's something like 6 hours long. But solid show. Wild Wild Country, Netflix.
Does Will Smith do the theme song like he did with Wild Wild West?
Wild Wild West.
That probably would have changed the tone a little bit at the beginning, but I'd have been in. Finally, I just watched Surveillance on Shudder. This is another movie I don't understand how I hadn't heard of until I was browsing and saw it. It's directed by Jennifer Lynch, who's the daughter of David Lynch. Mm-hmm. It stars Bill Pullman, Michael Ironside, and a bunch of character actors you're going to recognize throughout it. This movie is so tense at times. I freaking loved this, and I've never heard of the freaking thing. It's about 2 FBI agents who show up in a little podunk town to help the local police solve a group of murders that they think are connected. And they have to interview all the people that were involved in this horrific shootout scene and car accident and all this stuff. And each person has a slightly different view of what happened, and the FBI agents are trying to get to the bottom of it. And a lot of they do some, I don't want to say replays, but imaginings of what happened based on what the people were saying. Mm-hmm. And some of them are freaking intense. And this movie worked for me on almost every level. I loved it. This is a bravo, Shudder. Thank you for bringing this into my life. I loved it. So,
is it an older movie or?
It came out in 2008. 2008.
Because I think, didn't Michael Ironside, he passed away, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't think so.
I hope not. I like a world where he exists.
Yeah, no, he's still kicking.
Good.
Still being a bad guy in some movie somewhere.
He can't help it. He looks bad.
So that's Surveillance on Shudder. I don't know if I've ever seen anything else from Jennifer Lynch, but I am going to search her out because she put together a hell of a horror/thriller movie here that I really appreciated.
I think she did a movie about somebody who was kidnapped and had their limbs amputated. I might be wrong. It might not be her.
Boxing Helena.
Yeah.
It sounds
seriously.
Lynchian.
I think
Boxing Helena was with the dude from Arachnophobia and Warlock, Julian Sands.
Julian Sands. Yeah. Look it up. Maybe that's her. I don't know.
I will. That's all I did this week. Have at it.
All right, Jack. What did you watch?
First, let's do a social for Julian Sands.
Yeah, good job.
I did not watch a ton of horror, but I did watch something horror-y. First of all, I finally watched Atomic Blonde because I waited it out and it finally came to cable, so I didn't have to drop $6 to watch it. Which I'm glad because it's a pretty good movie, but I'm glad I didn't spend the extra money. I just waited a couple of weeks to see it. Charlize Theron, very easy on the eyes, as is the chick who played the mummy. And the two of them are worth the price of admission for their little snuggle scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good movie. James McAvoy's in it. It's a good movie to have on just because it's actiony and you there comes a point where who really cares what the plot is. There, however, is an action scene in this movie. If you think about the hallway scene in the first season of Daredevil, it's like that on crack. Like, Hunter, you saw this movie, right? It's where she's got the guy she's trying to like protect, and she's trying to navigate him through this building, and the assassins are all coming at her. That scene alone is worth the price of admission. It's tremendous.
And if you're bored at work or you're at home, pull up the playlist for the soundtrack on YouTube.
Oh, it's all 80s.
Tremendous.
Yeah. And the same color palette as Mute. Blue and pink.
So I liked Atomic Blonde quite a bit. I'm with you. I felt like the story really failed the movie, but the action sequences were incredible. She was so badass in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't give a crap about the story in that movie. I was like, I don't care. Just beat people up and just go.
There literally was a moment where I actually said that to myself. I was like, I can care less about the story. Just give me action scenes. And
yep.
I also purchased the Blu-ray of Thor Ragnarok and enjoyed the movie once again. And all of the extras. And I would say that this movie holds up and looks tremendous on a home screen. And I will put it's in like the top 5 Marvel movies for me.
It's funny you say that because I work in a building which is all 20-somethings, really. And there's this common area where they sit around and talk. Almost to a man, they hate rewatching Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
They've all watched, they've gotten the Blu-ray, they've watched it, and they go, oh my God, when you watch it the second time, it's a piece of garbage. And they've been having this discussion nonstop for the last week. So it's funny that you say that.
I just rewatched it this weekend too. I thought it was still funny as hell.
Yeah, it's weird. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't watch it.
I will say I didn't think it was as funny, but still I thought it was really funny. So right. I still enjoyed it.
It's really interesting to watch the extras because Taika Waititi, you get to see kind of the behind the scenes, and you really see like they have really, really talented people. Goldblum and Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth. Really, really, I mean, they're not just good actors; they're really funny, and I thought it was a great way to salvage that character's movies. So, anyway, I enjoyed the Blu-ray. I don't buy every Marvel on Blu-ray, but I have a handful of them that are the ones that I really like, so that made the cut. I watched a documentary on Amazon. I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago, but I saved it. It's called Return of the Exorcists. And
the Exorcists, plural?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. And it's all about the Vatican and real exorcisms and things like that.
Ooh.
And I watched it. I think I was hoping to get a little bit more meat out of this than I got, but it was still pretty interesting just because the fact that there's real stuff like this going on. There's real people like studying this stuff and believing this and going, and there are people in the church doing this kind of stuff. There are civilians out there, and I mean, this was all in Italy mostly. So, that's where my heritage is from. So I'm like, wow, I got to go there. I've never been there, but if I go there, I want to get to the exorcism underground of the Vatican.
Yeah, they'll let you right in.
Yeah, right.
You're with the final guys. Oh, come in, we show.
Yeah. So it's not the greatest documentary, but it's free. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's if you're interested in looking at kind of the behind the scenes of this stuff. And again, some of this could be total crock, but it wasn't a bad watch, and it's only a little bit over an hour, so like that. So
good.
I wouldn't give it a super duper thumbs up, but I'd say if you're looking for something different to watch and you're interested in exorcisms.
When did you watch it?
I actually watched it a couple of weeks ago, and then
Okay, because I looked it up, because I guess I should mention this now. For everyone listening, I put all the links for every show and movie we're talking about in here in the show notes. So if you go to our website and click on it, you'll have links to everything, and it's same in the YouTube chat. It's in the description. But when I was getting the link for it today, I saw that it wasn't available. So I didn't know if you found it somewhere else or if you took it down or...
No, I looked it up on Amazon just before we logged on, just to make sure I had the name right, because I watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then I just didn't get around to talking about it till today. So I saw it listed on Amazon, but I don't know.
I'll look. Maybe I can find a different link.
Now, the most horrific thing I watched was the tremendous Ash versus Evil Dead show. Are you guys watching this?
I still have not caught up with the second season yet.
Is this the third season we're in now?
This is the third. My wife and I we might start watching it this weekend. Like, we like to binge watch that show for some reason.
Well, I binged and caught up, and my God, it just holds up. And I guess it's not doing well. Like it's in danger of getting pulled.
I've heard a lot of rumors that this was the end anyway for them.
Well, Ash, what's his name, said that Bruce Campbell said that if they cancel the show, then Ash is done.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the second season was bananas.
The great thing about that show is you kind of know the plot, but again, you watch it, and all that really matters is at some point it's Ash versus Evil Dead, and Lee Majors is his father, and Lucy Lawless is like the big bad, and there's just they're able to recapture the slapstick and the zaniness and still deliver the horror. I did not set the bar high when I heard that they were doing this show, and they've exceeded my expectations. I love that show. So if you're not watching Ash versus Evil Dead, go find it.
Go to hell. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I'll eat your soul. That's all I got.
Groovy.
The first 2 seasons of that are up on Netflix now, if anybody hasn't seen it.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, watch it, please. Okay, I will go. I mentioned earlier that I set the bar low when I went to see Pacific Rim Uprising, because the first Pacific Rim was one of those, my youngest daughter and I absolutely went bananas over that movie. I mean, we loved the first one, and she loves Charlie Day. Like, she's getting a tattoo of Charlie Day and wants to tattoo Charlie Day like isms all over her body. Like, this is how much she's in love with him.
Rock, flag, and eagle.
Dayman was my ringtone for probably a year.
The weird thing was, I still have not seen a coming attraction for it, and the only reason I knew it was coming out is because the morning news interviewed the cast on Thursday, and I told my daughter, I said, well, we're going tomorrow. So we saw it on a Saturday. Like I said, know that it's not going to be as good as the first, because you don't have the same creative force behind it. I think Del Toro was like a visual consultant. I think that's what I saw him as.
That means they cut him a check.
Yeah, exactly. The script, it is what it is. There is some dialogue that will make you cringe. It's so bad. There are good actors in it, including a guy who I'm watching. Oh man, that guy, he looks like Clint Eastwood. I find out it's Clint Eastwood's son.
Oh, Scott Eastwood.
Yeah. They did address something I did not like in the first. The first, they only fought in the dark and rain. which I think covered up a lot of CGI misgivings. This movie, they only fought during the day. It was bright and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, and they fought constantly. If you were there to watch robots kick monsters in the balls and kick each other in the balls, this is the movie to watch. Because I just had, if I was a little kid, this is all I'd need in life. I mean, we grew up, we loved Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
Typical Godzilla movie, you got an hour and 30 minutes of bull crap, and then you got 10 minutes of a fight. This was maybe 70-30 of fighting.
Oh my God.
They figure, what the hell? It takes place 10 years later, and the main guy who was in Star Wars, he's Idris Elba's son. Definitely doesn't want to be following dad's
John
footsteps.
Boyega?
Whatever. It's all
from Attack the Block.
I mean, you could pick these characters off some fucking cheap ass screenwriter's screenplay, how you do it book. It didn't matter. We saw it for the fighting. The only problem I had with it, the big problem, was Charlie Day was wasted in this. He was subdued. He just wasn't himself. I wanted more Charlie Day.
That's what makes Charlie Day awesome, is when he freaks out with that amazing voice of his.
Yeah, and he didn't really do it in this movie.
I heard a disturbing rumor that Ron Perlman is not in this movie.
That would be correct.
Ugh.
I kept waiting for him to show up. And just so you know, there is at the end, it's definitely going to a third. Which is simple, because the first one made $400 million worldwide. This one has already made its money back. It's made $150 million. So it's going to make more than they spent on it. They'll just make another one. But why not? I mean, I think we're too critical of this crap. When Godzilla versus Megalon came out, every little kid walked out with a little tiny chubby. They're probably their first boner, and they're going to get that same thing with this kind of movie. So just have fun with it.
It's funny you say that thing about the Godzilla movies, because you and I, with the 4:30 movie, Monster Week, how many times did you go change the channel and try and time coming back to when the monster scenes were?
Oh yeah, and you knew when they were coming
with the dial. You're like, tick, 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 tick.
Yep.
You're like, oh, Batman's on at the same time. I got to go watch that and then come back. And if you miss part of the monster scene, damn it.
Yeah, no, it did the same thing. So, look, it's just good brainless fun.
Do the fight scenes hold up?
Yes, they were actually pretty cool. I'm sure they stole all the crap from the Transformers and just used half their CGI. The movie that I saw in the theater a couple of weeks ago that we have missed out on, you guys did, was The Strangers Pray at Night.
Oh.
Holy crap, is that movie good. It is maybe better than the first, because you get the same thing of good character development. The family in this movie, the actors were so good. You got Christina Hendricks. You had Bailey Madison, who's been doing movies since she was... it was weird seeing her saying the F word when I watched her with my kids who loved her growing up. And Bill Pullman's son is in this. He plays her brother. And this family goes and stops at the uncle's kind of like campground area, which looks exactly like this campground me and my family go to. And the strangers are there. It is artfully done. There are some scenes in this movie that will stick with you for a long ass time. And I will just say, when you see this movie, 2 words, well, not 2 words, pool, total eclipse of the heart.
You're not the first person to tell me that.
It is absolutely worth it alone. I could not believe how good this movie was. I was going, I want to see it. It's probably going to suck. And when I walked in, I'm like, that might be better than the first one.
Okay, so when this comes out on VOD, we'll do a spoiler rep on it.
You have to. It's only been released in the US. It's already made $22 million. It probably only cost $8 million to make, if that much. So
I heard it wasn't as depressing. Is that the case? Had more fun to it?
It's definitely, there's a little more, I don't want to say humor, maybe a lighter touch to it, but there were also some scenes where I was holding my breath, and it had a jump scare in it where I freaking levitated off my chair, and that hasn't happened to me in I don't know how long. So if it's still in the theater by you, go see it. Spend the money. Go see it. It's probably going to make my top 10 of the year. That's
cool.
how good this movie was, and what a shock it was. So weird. Um, the other thing I watched was Channel Zero, Butcher's Block. This is the third season on Sci-Fi of Channel Zero, and they're all based on these creepy pasta stories. One name will make you watch this movie: Rutger Hauer.
What? They got him?
Boom, drop the mic. Rutger Hauer plays Joseph Peach, who ran the meat packing plant, who was dead and a cannibal.
Power lack me now.
It's freaking. What I love about Channel Zero is I never know where these shows are going until they're 6-episode runs. So I don't even know what the hell the end game is until the 6th episode. They do a great job of just showing you creepy stuff, whereas American Horror Story is just all creepy visuals but no substance. This marries both. It's one of the most solid horror programs on television.
I haven't watched 1 minute of it. I gotta check that
Oh,
out.
you gotta watch it. And it also, the main star is, oh god, she's Olivia Lucardi. She's from my favorite movie, It Follows. She's the girl who's reading that clamshell e-reader.
Oh yeah.
There are many times in this show I kept looking at my daughter going, she looks like Heath Ledger as the Joker. I'm like, the makeup department is not being kind to
You
her.
want to know how I got these scars?
She would be in these serious scenes, and I look at my daughter and go, why so serious?
Oh, God.
But she's like, she wants to be a social worker, and she goes to this area they've known as the Butcher's Block, and there's a haunted park with a staircase that leads up to nowhere. There's midgets, there's cannibals, there's dancing lunatics. The one thing that separates this from the first 2 seasons, there's a level of humor in every episode, but I think you need it because this is so gory and so tense. You need to release that tension every now and then.
Damn.
I can't recommend this enough. So watch season 3. It's on Sci-Fi on demand. You got it. Go watch it.
I still need to watch the second season. I haven't caught up yet.
Every season's been better than the one before it.
Are the episodes related, or is it totally an anthology?
Totally. Every season is a different creepypasta story. And I think my daughter told me, because she reads this creepypasta stuff, this one is not one story, but it's taking elements from a bunch of others and putting
So
them into
each
one.
season is one story.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a 6-episode arc done, which I love.
Is the pasta al dente?
It is to the tooth. Or, as Giada would say, spaghetti. I also read a book. I'm very proud of myself. I read Annihilation.
Oh, I'm dying to read that after watching the movie.
I didn't see the movie because I didn't get a chance. So I said, well, at least I can read the book. It's part 1 of a trilogy. What's it called? The Southern Reach trilogy. It's strange. It's really strange. I hear there's a lot of differences between the book and the movie. The book, there's only 4 characters. It's very compact, and it's all from the point of view of one, the main character, who I guess would be Natalie Portman in the movie. If you're not into speculative sci-fi, this might not be your thing, but I loved it. I mean, I drank this book. It was done in 2 days. It's only like under 200 pages.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, they're really short. And what they did was they put all 3 books out in the same year. So Annihilation came out in February, Authority in May, and Acceptance in September. This is back in 2014. So I am looking forward to reading the next one.
Oh, I need to get on that then.
When you read it, you'll wonder how it became a movie, though, because nothing in this book made me go, "Oh, this should be a movie." So the fact that somebody took a chance and made a movie, and from what I hear, a really good movie off of it, kudos to them for having the balls to do it.
Well, you mentioning it's strange definitely fits with the movie, but I heard there was a lot of changes too. So
There would have to be. Trust me, there would have to be. There isn't a lot of forward momentum in this book. It's a lot of just taking in bizarre shit. So that's what I did this week. So what we're going to do now, boys and girls, I want you to grab your popcorn and your beer and your scotch and whatever else you're got to keep you going, and stay tuned because we are going to talk about our main feature, The Fog.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right. So, Jack, because you were probably 35 when The Fog first came out in 1980, I think you should be the person. Only a year younger. I think you should be the person to give a little synopsis for those. I can't imagine somebody not knowing The Fog, but I'm sure there were plenty of people. Not everyone is as old as we are.
Well, I will say this. I saw this in the theater when it came out.
So did I. First day.
Yeah, I was probably, yeah. I don't know if it was the first day, but it was definitely, I don't know how long it was in the theater for, so. Anywho, a recap or a synopsis of The Fog. There's a town by the water with a sexy DJ.
Stevie Wayne.
And it's the anniversary of something or other.
It's the town's anniversary, isn't
the town's
it?
Anniversary.
Centennial or bicentennial or something.
And Fog Bank rolls in and bad things start to happen to people who get caught in the fog. And Jamie Lee Curtis is young and nubile, and Tom Atkins is
Nubile.
is Swaggy D, and
yeah, he's dropped that sexy in this movie.
And what's his name? The guy who's in everything is the priest.
Oh, Hal Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook. And there's a lot of fog and evil pirates.
A lot of fog. That's great.
That sums it up.
That was like my sister was dating an absolute moron in the 80s and had to do a report on The Old Man and the Sea, which you can read taking 2 shits. And he spent 5 hours to write one sentence: "The old man loved the sea." So this is a movie I know Jack and I have probably watched 30 times each.
No, that's not true. I've only watched it a couple of times.
Really? Oh God, I've watched it at least 30 times. Jason, you're younger than us. What's your experience with this film?
This movie may have come out before I was born. Just throwing it out there. This is only the second time I've ever watched this movie, to be honest. I saw it in high school, probably, maybe early college years. Just, when I was going through, okay, I'm going to watch all Carpenter's films, all Romero's films. And I really felt like this was one of his lesser films when I watched it back then. I thought it was okay. I didn't like it nearly as much as his others, and I just haven't cared to watch it since. But when we decided we are going to do this, I found it on Shudder, which is another bonus for Shudder. I might as well just buy stock in that company as much as I promote their shit. And watch it again with the wife who hadn't seen it before. And I enjoyed it way more this time. Way more. I thought this was a ton of fun. There was some super cool stuff in this with the fog and just everything. The cast was outstanding. You're right. Tom Atkins was slinging some serious dick in this movie. He was great.
Right in Jamie Lee's face.
I really, really enjoyed this. It turned around for me from when I seen it before 100%. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you're more mature now. You're a more mature horror viewer. For me, I saw it. I remember when it came out, I was 12, and we had to see that immediately, and it was playing in the theater down the block. So boom, ran to it. It's one of the strands of my DNA. So there is a strand that rolls up, and it is Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, and God, what else? The Thing. Oh God, I couldn't believe it. And there's like an offshoot. There's a ribosome of Prince of Darkness.
How are you forgetting Big Trouble in Little China? What's wrong with you?
It's not part of my DNA. It was too silly. I was a very serious horror fan.
You can't see the poster I have right there. That's
I know
one of my
it's
faves.
a great movie. It's a great movie. But growing up, and They Live, that didn't count either. I think They Live would have been better without Rowdy.
All right, I guess.
All right. Show's over, people. We'll catch you later.
But this is how I felt then. Not
That's
now.
okay.
I can't say anything. I just came around on The Fog.
So I loved The Fog from the moment I saw it, from the moment John Houseman is on the beach telling the story, which was part of a reshoot, because when Carpenter first did it, that wasn't in it. And he said, this movie makes no sense and it's not going to appeal to anybody. So it's part of the reshoot that he did. The reason I went to college to be a DJ in radio or work in radio was because of A, WKRP in Cincinnati, and B, Stevie Wayne. I wanted to be the male Adrian Barbeau in a lighthouse spinning records at night. That's all I
think your third influence was the DJ from The Warriors, where it's just a close-up of a black woman's mouth.
Oh, no. I'll tell you what I want to do with that mouth. But anyway, I'm serious. Those were my inspirations to want to work in radio. I think I like.
Well, your boobs are bigger than Adrian Barbeau, so
I've been next to Adrian. No, they're not. I got to meet her last year, and that was like one of the thrills of my life. Love this movie. It's got all of Carpenter's crew. He was married to Adrian Barbeau at the time. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got Tom Atkins, Charles Cyphers, who's in a bunch of his movies, and Nancy Loomis, who was in Assault on Precinct 13 and Halloween. So it's got his peeps, and it's him and Deborah Hill. It's gold. It's horror gold as far as I'm concerned.
So I also saw this in the theater, and I actually wasn't crazy about it the first time I saw it. I thought it was kind of a letdown, because coming off of Halloween and some other stuff, for me, it was a little slow. And the pirate zombies didn't do. I was like, they just kind of show up and whatever. So I moved on to other stuff. I thought it was okay. Then it came out on cable, and it just became one of those like, The Fog's on, I'll watch this. And then I didn't watch it for a really long time. So I was glad when somebody presented this as what we should watch, because it was one of those movies I'm like, I gotta watch The Fog again. It's been a long time. And going back, man, I forgot so much of this movie. And I really enjoyed it, like retro back. So it grew on me as the years went. But like I said, the first time I saw it, it's like, I would throw it in like the middle of the pile for John Carpenter movies. Not the bottom, but the middle. But as you know, I appreciate it. Watching it now and seeing like Adrian Barbeau top of her game.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a streamlined movie. Like it's like what, 2 days. There's
no filler in this movie.
There's no filler. It just it happens. And one of the funniest things that kind of never really occurred to me was how Jamie Lee Curtis and Atkins just kind of meet and hook up.
Boom. Well, she's a whore hitchhiker.
Yeah,
naturally.
So I really enjoyed going back and revisiting this one, because it's been a long time, and it made me appreciate it better, because now in retrospect and looking at other stuff that's out there, I'm like, yeah, John Carpenter's got some chops, man. I'm hit or miss on a lot of his stuff. And so this one's grown on me.
Yeah, that was in his can't miss years, as far as I'm concerned. Like there was nothing he could have spit on celluloid to be like, oh, that's freaking great. They shot this movie for $1 million. And then he went back and did reshoots. So it went up to $1.1 million. Critically, incredible. It was and I think it made something like $25 million back in that day. And then just think how much it's made since then in rentals and purchases and stuff like that. And to do a movie that looked that good and that is so Carpenter, you could close your eyes, you know it's a John Carpenter movie.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack is so glorious in this film. I love it.
I mean, and there were scenes in this movie that have stuck with me, like when the guys are on the fishing boat, and the guy turns and goes, "Who is that?" Like me and my friends used to do that all the time at night when we'd have sleepovers. We'd just go, "Who is that?"
That's funny, because the line for me is, "There's no fog bank out there. There's no fog bank out there. There's a fog bank out there."
My line was, "Yeah, I'm drunk enough."
Oh, by the way, did you guys see John Carpenter in the movie, in the cameo?
No.
I don't remember.
He is the scummy hippie-looking guy who was working for the priest.
Oh.
So he was one
At
of
the
the
beginning.
parish helpers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's John Carpenter.
Wow. He didn't look like he was dead there, so I didn't quite. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, that was 57,000 cigarettes before now.
I did want to look up some stuff on this movie, but I didn't have time. I was really curious how they did some of those incredible fog effects. Was it all fog that they were making, or was some of it smoke that they lit? I didn't know how they did it. It looked just nuts.
It was very controlled.
Yeah,
right?
You could tell they had some
Actual-
big ass fans on some of them too.
It was actual found footage of evil fog.
Oh.
Evil fog. Did you know I found out that Carpenter got this idea from a British movie? God, what the hell? Oh wait, I wrote it down too. What the hell was it called? The Trollenberg Terror.
Never heard of
So
it.
Really?
if you want to find it, it's what inspired him to make this movie. The Trollenberg Terror. I think it was set in the woods, foggy woods, but there was a monster in the woods, not zombie pirates. So that's something to look. I promised myself I'm going to look for this after today. I got to find this movie.
I'm glad you just mentioned the zombie pirates thing, because if there's one thing in this that's still, even watching the second time, I'm like, it's the pirate thing. I don't know why. It just doesn't 100% work for me. The rest of it I really enjoyed, but the pirate thing, I don't know what it is about that story that just feels weird.
The pirates don't talk, and it takes the fun out of it. There's no gar.
Is it because they don't do enough?
I don't know.
They're underused.
I can't even pinpoint what it is. It just felt like the pirate thing didn't need to be in there. They could have just been ghosts or monsters or something. I don't know. I'm nitpicking here. It's just something that I don't know. It never quite agreed with me.
Someone's got to kill Hal Holbrook, so
It's true.
why not a pirate?
One thing I do love is the ending of how they're, oh, okay, and then it comes back. That's
There was one thing too I wanted to look up, and again I didn't have time. Right at the end of the first act, when Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins are in the boat looking for everyone, the boat's rusted up. There are 4 jump scares in 2 or 3 minutes there that are just horrible, and then there aren't any for the rest of the movie. It almost
noticed that too.
It almost felt like it was a different director, like an assistant director that shot some pickups, because where the priest jumps out of the shadow at the woman for no reason.
Right.
It felt like nothing else in the film. It was bizarre.
Well, you got to remember, it was shot during a time when the movie went to the theater. There was no real VHS at the time, and it was meant to make you jump.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they were only in that little segment. The rest of it was dread.
Because you give into convention, you give into what they need, right? So you're like, all right, I know I got to add some of these in. I'll put them in this scene. I'll put them here. If I compact them in this little scene, it won't seem like I've thrown it all over the place. Maybe people will forget. But
maybe
the date grabbed your hand or grabbed your crotch, popcorn flew, maybe some soda spilled, and all is good. There were a few screams. It's movie making then is a completely different exercise than what it is now. Like now, I would hate to make a movie now because what's your audience? People sitting at home on their half on their phone, half looking out the window.
The Luddite, here we go.
Not a Luddite, but it's different. I mean, I watch my kids, I watch their friends. When they watch a movie, they fucking half the times they're on their phone. They can't concentrate on the TV long enough. So it's tough. I don't know how they do it nowadays. I'm going to get off on a tangent.
So anyway, what I'm saying is I would love to look up why there were so many jump scares in that little tiny segment. I'm curious.
Drive out to wherever Carpenter lives and ask him.
I would, but he'd probably bitch at me and...
We'll catch him on tour. He's on tour with his band or whatever.
I've actually heard he's a lot better on that than he has been in interviews for the last 40 years.
He just did an interview with Mick Garris because Mick Garris's podcast got Postmortem got picked up by Blumhouse. So now he's on that network. So he has some freedom. And his first interview was with Carpenter. I suggest you listen to that.
Did he actually answer questions?
Very openly.
Wow. Okay.
It was great.
Wow. Before that, the only thing I'd ever heard where he didn't sound very angry was the Big Trouble in Little China documentary, a commentary that he did with Kurt Russell, and they didn't talk about the movie at all. They just talked about their kids and shit, and he didn't seem grumpy.
There we go. That sounds like John. But no, he was actually pretty forthcoming in this interview.
Outstanding. Okay.
But Mick Garris has interviewed him many times over the years. I think there was a comfort level. And I think he's also older, and he knows I'm not going to get many chances to like speak my mind at this point. There's no sense in being cryptic and angry.
All right. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Jack, you're quiet over there.
I'm just scared that pirates are going to come get me.
Are they going to like knock on your window with the hook?
I will say that the pirates standing in the church with the red eyes, one of the most iconic scenes in horror. Like, when you see that.
Oh, it looks great. Absolutely. I think that stuff is phenomenal. All the fog coming in under the door, the scene at the beginning with the pirate coming in behind the guy on the boat, that was so well done. They just kind of let the light die so you could only see the guy's face at the end. That was phenomenal filmmaking.
I want to challenge Jim Herbert, who is our resident movie guy, to mash up The Fog with Humanoids from the Deep.
Jesus.
I would, because there were similar aspects to both of those movies. They both made around the same time. I think they both came out in 80.
Humanoids from the Fog.
Of small town, a little bit of fog, something invading the town. Just, Jim, do it.
Ha!
I expect something.
Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Jim Herbert in the chat has answered my question about the jump scares. He says the studio demanded that they add scares, and the original cut had no gore or overt violence, and the studio said it needs to be more like Halloween. So he added in the jump scares. That's why they feel so out of place.
Jump scares and John Houseman, which was a brilliant move.
Now, I'm assuming Herbert is not out of his mind and knows what he's talking about.
He knows.
So there you go. That's why they feel out of place, because they were not in his original ideas, I guess.
It's all right. I liked it.
I
liked it.
What'd you think of Jamie Lee Curtis?
We forgot. She's in the movie with her mom.
Her mom?
Yeah. She was the Nancy Loomis'
the mayor?
boss. She was the one who was doing all the stuff for the mayor.
Oh. No, doing the stuff for the mayor?
Whatever she was doing.
That's
she wasn't the mayor.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know that was her mom.
Yeah, that was Janet Leigh.
That was Janet Leigh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's the only time the two of them were ever in a movie together. I should have looked that up beforehand. I don't
Why would
know.
we do something like that?
Did Janet Leigh make an appearance in Prom Night? Someone will tell me.
To answer your question, Jack, I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was really good in this. Maybe a little underutilized, but I don't know if they'd have fleshed it out more, it might have slowed down the movie some. So I thought she was great. She and Atkins, I thought, played really well off each other, actually.
Yeah, and more flesh would have been good.
I actually forgot she was in this movie. It's been so long, and I was like, "Oh, that's right." Because I just think of Adrienne Barbeau when I think about this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's right." Jamie Lee Curtis is in this too.
I did want to ask, what the hell is wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis's character that after all this stuff starts happening, she just doesn't split town? She just keeps hanging on. Atkins must be doing something incredible.
Look, if you had Atkins naked, you probably stick around too. That's right. I met him last year too. At the same time I met Adrienne Barbeau.
I was with you.
He's the man. I ran into him early on when we were talking about how fucking cold it was where we were.
Oh, that building was so freaking cold.
Yes.
How many times at those conventions does somebody go up to him and say, "Thrill me"? It's got to be.
He said it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, he kept saying it.
Really?
Yeah, he was reveling.
We did a Q&A thing, and like the first thing he did was "Thrill me."
Yeah, he was cool.
He hams it up. Nice.
He was cool. And Adrienne Barbeau is about the size of a hummingbird. Like she's so tiny right now.
I'll tell you what, for all the stuff that she's been in, as soon as I saw her that day, for some reason, the first thing I think of is Back to School, where she's the bitchy wife.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Swamp Thing.
I was going to say Swamp Thing. I will never forget that movie.
Or Maude.
Maude is where she...
Jason's like, Maude? What the hell is a Maude?
What are you old timers talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Pre-Golden Girls. So I think we're all in agreement. We all love this movie.
Yeah.
I love it. Where you put it? What's on your scale, Jack?
Oh, first of all, this is like what I love about having Shudder. This is exactly why I want Shudder. This is a movie I'm way overdue to rewatch. I think this was my favorite time ever watching it. Like it's aged well, and I really enjoyed it. So for a Carpenter movie, I it's in the upper echelon of Carpenter movies.
Echelon. What about you, JJ?
I really enjoyed this too. I liked it a lot. I'm definitely going to start putting this into my rotation to watch more often. In the Carpenter pantheon, that's tough. I'd have to sit and think about that. He's got some movies I really love. Top 5 for sure.
There you go. That's good. That's a big improvement from where it was in your pecking order.
It might be at 5. I'd have to think about it.
I will say that if anyone out there has watched the sequel, which I highly discourage, I will never watch it, and you
The
like
sequel
it
or
more
the
than
remake?
this, the remake, whatever, to hell with you. Don't listen to our show. Don't ever contact us. Go away from here.
I never saw it.
I never did either.
I
That's the
wouldn't
guy
even
from
bother.
Smallville, right?
Who cares?
I'm gonna go watch it now.
All right, so we haven't decided what we're watching next week, have we, boys?
No.
I want to do Santa Clarita Diet.
I could because I finished watching it, but
How
I don't know.
many episodes are there?
There are 10 episodes of about 25, 30 minutes each.
I could
Oh God.
probably bang it up, but if you don't think we can, we don't have to.
There's no chance I will. I have to watch like 16 episodes this week. There's no way I'm going to
Okay.
finish that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We'll figure something out. We'll let you all know. But in April, we have A Quiet Place coming out. We have Truth or Dare, the Blumhouse movie coming out. There's actually a few horror movies in April. So this is like our one weird, not much coming out week. So maybe we'll do something classic. Maybe we'll do something.
That movie Unsane did not come out of VOD. Did it come out to theaters?
It's in theaters, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to go see it at theater.
Yeah, screw it.
But everyone get in the Facebook group and post some ideas, and we'll throw it around and let you know next week.
Tell us what you want us to watch.
And then we'll ignore it. But put it out there.
The Fog came from, I believe it was Audra. So thank you, Audra.
Yes.
Audra,
You're the man.
MVP.
Annie Wilkes. So anyway, it's a little thing between her and I. Thank you very much for joining us. And as always, like us, rate us especially on iTunes, and subscribe to our YouTube.
And happy Easter.
Oh, yeah. Happy Easter, whatever.
It's a drinking word.
Oh, is it? Yeah, what did I miss? Missed Dane Classic Carpenter. Okay. Check yourself into the hospital. We're done. Good night, everybody.